right, so welcome back. This is part 3 of your 5 mistakes that small business owners make that prevent you from tapping into the $1 trillion government marketplace. So this is day 3 of this series, part of the bigger series of the Vlogmas 2020. So I appreciate you guys coming back every day, hanging with us. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm Felicia Streeter over at FeliciaStreeter.com. I'm your government contracting mentor, teaching you everything about government contracting, small business, smush it up, everything in between. Dive into day 3 of this series on 5 mistakes that small business owners make that can prevent you from tapping into the $1 trillion government marketplace. Are you ready? Now, as a recap, let me recap. Day 1, we talked about 3 areas that you may have a lack of knowledge that could be preventing you from tapping into the $1 trillion government marketplace. Day 2, we talked about growing too fast. And here for day 3, we're talking about chasing contracts the same way you chase clients. That's a problem. So today I want to share with you 3 areas that you want to pay attention to and focus on as you're venturing off into the contracting world if you're making a transition over from clients. So this is really, really great for you guys that maybe you're doing residential, maybe, you do coaching, some of those services where you would have clients, okay, individuals that you're working with and things like that. So we're going to talk about it from the contracting perspective today, as far as winning contracts. Because I get asked a lot of times from coaches, speakers, people that provide a lot of services. They consider themselves not to be a contractor, but, if you get a contract, like for an extended period of time or a contract to do something, you're a contractor, okay? So it's not that your business is set up as a contractor as such. I'm gathering that's what you guys may be thinking, but we're talking about when you have a contract in hand and then we just call you a contractor, okay? So let's dive in. Chasing contracts the same as you do with clients. That's a mistake. And this is very, 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 very important and huge. A lot of you guys are not allowing enough time in between the time you find an opportunity and then the time that the opportunity needs to be submitted. So here's what I mean. If you find an opportunity to bid, a lot of times you guys think that, oh, it's just going to take me a couple hours, put some numbers to this, bam, I'm done. I submit it, just as you would with working with a client. Because a lot of times with clients, they may say, well, send me a proposal. And, you can whip something up really, really quickly, a page or 2. Maybe that's your proposal and you send it over to work with them. Well, in government contracting, is not that simple, okay? The bidding process, a lot of times could take you a couple weeks to put an actual bid together, just depending on what all may be involved, what outside resources you might have to tap into. Do you need to get pricing from other resources? Do you need to, figure out your own numbers and, get pricing that way? So you want to make sure you're allotting enough time from the time that you're going to bid to the time that you're going to submit. It is very, very different than when you're working with customers. So understand me on this. Inside the Contractor's Edge Bootcamp, we do talk about bidding and the time frame it will take. This is something that you need to know. If you don't know it, you need to figure it out. How much time do you need to put a bid together? You need to know that, so that when you see an opportunity, you see when it's due, you can easily say, yes, I have enough time to put this together, or no, I do not. Here's what you don't want to have happen. You start putting a bid together and you don't make the deadline, because now you've wasted a lot of time and resources on something that you'll never recover the money that you invested, because time is money too, especially when you have employees and you have them do it. Well, you have to pay them whether you won that bid or not, whether you submitted it or not. So you want to be mindful of the time you're allocating to put together your bids and making sure it is enough time. That is a huge, huge oversight I see an awful lot with small businesses. Now, the second mistake I see here is not even knowing who's your customer. Because with that, what happens? You're bidding everything. You're bidding everything. So if you don't know who's your customer, you don't know what they want, and you don't understand how they want it, I mean, it's like throwing spaghetti at a wall. So we don't want to do that. You need to know who's your customer, what they want, and how you're going to have to submit whatever it is you have to submit. How do they want it, right? You need to know how they work. And if you remember, in part 1 of this series, I talked about the lack of understanding and knowing how your customer works, how the government processing or contracting system work, and what that process is. So you need to understand that. You need to know who's your customer and how they want it. Comment down below. Let me know in the comments. Do you know who's your customer? Do you know what they want and need and how they want it? Let us know down in the comments. Yes or no, a no or yes. All right, so let's talk about this last one. This is what I see a lot of times. I think we get antsy. I don't want to use the word desperate. I'm going to say antsy. I don't know the other word, but I don't want to say desperate because we don't want to be desperate. But we get antsy in anticipation, because maybe it's like, oh my gosh, I need to get some money flowing into this business, right? I get it. I understand it. I was there too. But if we don't understand who our customer is, what's going to happen is when the contracts are not coming in as fast as we want them to, then we're going to start shooting at everything. We're chasing everything. I mean, if it's out and we see it, we're chasing it. What? Over here? What? And you're running over here. And then you hit up, you turn, and then you're over here. Like you're going in all these different directions, trying to do 50 million things, trying to bid all these contracts, only to realize, probably not fast enough, is that most of the things you bidded on, those people were not your customer, and you had no shot at winning for a variety of reasons. So it's very, very important that you know what you're looking at. You know what your customer wants. You need to know this. Okay? You need to know, as a recap. Let's recap this really quickly because I want you guys to get this. And you can definitely figure this out between now and tomorrow, our next video, and understand how long does it take you to bid a contract. Now, if you don't already know, when you go through a bid process, use that as a starting point to determine how long it's taking you to put together an opportunity to bid. From the time you find it to the time you're submitting it. You need to know that timeline. You also need to know your customer. Get to know your customer, what their needs are. Not only current needs, but future needs. What do they plan to be doing over the next 12 months? Because they could be making some type of big transition, some type of big change that is going to have them needing your services or your products. Okay? See what their needs are. And then focus on your customer. Don't try to go after too many different customers at the same time. And also, oh my gosh, this is not even in my notes, but let me just say it anyway. Don't try to offer too many things at one time. A jack of all trades, a master of none. That's not what you want to be. Because the other thing is, if you offer a multitude of things, nobody will know what you offer. Like if somebody's looking for something specifically, they may not remember you for that thing because they may remember you for the other thing that you did last time. So make sure people know who you are and what you do too. Okay? All right, so that's it for today. Make sure you come back tomorrow for part 4 in this 5-part series. And remember, you're just one contract away. Bye for now.